I don't know about you, Richard, but this place seems quite hopping. Hello! Artemir the Violet Wizard here, and today we're continuing Link's Awakening DX. Last time we took on the second dungeon, Bottle Grotto, and managed to take care of everything we needed to do involving Richard here in order to obtain everything necessary to enter the third dungeon. So we'll be starting things off in this session right away by going to level 3. And then once we've taken care of this, there are a few other things we'll be able to get done in this session that will hopefully get us ready for the fights ahead, because there is a lot of stuff that we're going to be able to do once we are clear of this section of the game. Yeah, this is going to be very interesting, especially compared to what the previous dungeon had in store for us. Let's go right into level 3, Key Cavern. Really like the music in this place. It is very imposing compared to the music we heard before. If we go over to the right over here, there's another one of these black holes that we saw much earlier. But this one is pushing us back, so we can't get over to this chest here. And you can see here that the door is locked over here, so how are we going to get through? Let's pick up a pot and throw it at the door. Yeah, this has made a lot more clear on what you're supposed to do in the Switch version of the game, because the door actually has a pot engraved on it, letting you know that the pots are necessary to open that up. So got some new enemies here, bombs. So I believe this is actually bombs from the Mario series. If you hit them, they'll bounce around the place and eventually explode. Check out all the enemies here, we get a small key right off the bat. And over here, there's another chest for us and quite a few pathways going all over the place. Oh, it's a trap! It had a slime in it. Right, over here there's another chest. But we can't get to this thing because of the raised platform, so we'll want to remember that for later. Got some more enemies over here in a place that looks like a chest would spawn. So it's gonna be a little while before we can get over to that guy in order to access that particular thing. So you can see in this dungeon, one of the things that are going to be very abundant here are slime, as you would expect from a place that requires a slime key in order to access. But here we got the path opening up to us with a variety of directions we could take. It's gonna head up here, and we have a crystal that we can access here. Let's beat all the enemies in there, and we get another key. Typically, as you would expect from a place called the Key Cavern, there's a lot of keys that you can find here. Probably has the most keys in it out of any dungeon in the game, as a matter of fact. Now that we hit that switch, let's go up here, and we can now access these chests and get what's inside. It's got a stone beak right off the bat. That's very good for getting us some tips on what to do here. We still can't do anything about this room yet. I want to head over here, knock these guys out first, and get what is over here. Right, this guy could be a bit of a pain. Right, we're able to handle him, and we get a map. Press the start button to look at it. As you probably expect, this dungeon is in the shape of keys. Yeah, it's another nice little detail about this place. You can always expect the maps in the Zelda games to have some kind of theming behind them, at least in some of the older games. Alright, let's head back in here. We saw the owl statue that we could talk to in here, so why don't we see what your message is? Far away, do not fear, dash and fly. An interesting piece of advice, though we don't really have anything to help us dash at the moment. But it is nice advice. Let's go in here now. It's got some new enemies, these little bird guys. They are quite interesting. If you approach these enemies, they will teleport away from you. So you need to be really careful when it comes to beating these guys. I know that is one thing new. I'm just trying to... Yeah, jump attacks against these guys are actually really effective. Another way to deal with them is to use bombs. Because they only teleport away when you get close to them. So you can use bombs in order to damage them from far away. So yep, that is another good strategy to have on hand. Let's go down here. It's got another one of these bird guys to deal with. This room is definitely a little tricky with all of the tiles here. Just pushing you along like a conveyor belt. Might have to go... Okay, this seems like a good place to use our bombs here. What's nice that after you lay down a bomb, you can pick it up in order to throw it more accurately. And this is typically how I use bombs in the game. It's a very nice way to handle things. By being that guy, we get another key. Yeah, just so many of these things around here. And actually grab some bombs in these pots. Though I think you can only find bombs if you've managed to... buy the bombs at the store. Otherwise, I don't think you'll be able to get them. Don't think there's anything we can get in this room, so just leave this guy. Don't have anything to do with you. So now we're in another section of the dungeon. A lot of slimes here. Let's take out as many of these as we can, because you can see here there is something of note in this room. We can grab another key from there. It's got some more Stalfos to take out. And next thing we want to do, we can see there's this little gap in the torches here. If you hit the wall there, it will make a hollow twang, which is your clue to bomb the wall open. And you can see there's even a cracked wall telling you you can do that. Which is very nice. Really glad they give you access to bombs by this point, because it makes navigating a lot of the things around here so much easier. It's got that wide gap over there we're not going to be able to do anything about. Oh, I like this. The floor tiles making the shape of an arrow, telling you where to bomb. Poke suspicious parts of the wall with your sword, and listen to the sounds it makes. Definitely good advice. Some more of these bombs. But these ones are a bit different in that when you hit them, they'll start smiling and do a countdown. And obviously, when the countdown is up, they will explode. Let's have our shield out so we can just block these guys. Alright, that wasn't really effective, actually. Over here we got another little chesty. Hopefully give us something good here. A compass! Now you can see where the chest and nightmare are hidden. That'll definitely be very handy. This place definitely has a lot of secrets for us to find, so it's good to have that for us. I don't think there's anything beyond there, so we'll just want to double back. How these guys respond, really? Let's push them away with our sword. That's probably the way to go. Yeah. Much more effective. I don't have much farther, actually, to go through here. So we got another one of... so we got a room here with those crystals that we saw in the last session that we couldn't do anything about. But you'll definitely want to remember them. And we'll definitely want to try to get as many keys as we can see here. There's a lot of blocks that require keys in order to get through. Let's take those guys out, and... the ways we could go, let's go this way first. Alright, we can hear that there's another So this room also has a key in here. So we're just taking care of these guys with some stuff that we can talk about. So very recently, I have started to play Earthbound again on my Switch, which has been pretty good so far. I just recently managed to get past the Reed section of the game, and I'm now in Foreside, which is definitely a good place to be in my revisit to the game. I've just been very happy to get to experience this game again, because Earthbound is just such a delight for me, just one of my favorites from its era. I know it's aged in quite a few ways, but I still think it is very good. To defeat the black monster with a hard shell, feed him something explosive. Definitely want to keep that in mind. Let's go over here and grab this chest we opened. We got 50 rupees. Very nice. Alright, the remaining rooms we could do... Go over here. I was mistaken. There is something over there we can get. I just didn't check the right frickin' wall. Because of course I didn't. Alright, so we're definitely gonna need to go over there because there's gonna be something in there we need to grab. Considering our current placement here... Thinking of some potential paths we could take here to minimize certain movements, but you know what? We will save that room for a bit later. Let's go in here. So right away, you want to equip bombs before going into this room. So we got ourselves a new foe, the Dongo Snakes. It's kind of interesting opponents here. These big old monsters that are kind of intimidating if kind of goofy looking. To beat these guys, you need to use bombs. Just as the thing said, because any other weapon would not be effective. As long as you're able to throw the bomb into the Dodongo Snake's mouth, that is a good enough way to inflict damage on them. They'll just automatically suck them up. If you're also good with your timing, you would just place the bomb down on... If you're close to the mouth point blank to also damage them with the bomb, but I typically try to be a bit more precise with my attacks here. You definitely want to make sure you have a lot of bombs going into this fight. But luckily, every time you beat one of these guys, they will drop a fairy, so it's good for replenishing your health afterwards. And by beating those guys, they set up a portal for us, which is going to be very handy considering one of the areas we're going to go to very soon. Let's push that over and open this chest. You got the Pegasus boots. If you hold down the button, you can dash. So yep, now that we have this, we're able to move about so much easier than before. Which I definitely find very effective. So not only are these good for moving yourself over great distances and much easier, it's also very good for quite a few puzzles. As we saw earlier, you could use the Pegasus boots to dash into those green crystals we saw before. That's not the only puzzle involving the Pegasus boots that we're able to do. And overall, I think they do a very good job with the puzzles involving the Pegasus boots in this game. So of course, this was an item introduced in... this item was introduced in A Link to the Past, and in that game, Pegasus boots are pretty good for some stuff overall, but I feel like in this game they especially managed to use them very effectively. As we shall see very soon. Really don't like the fact that these bomb guys just keep respawning and locking us out. I don't think this room works quite the same in the Switch version of the game. I feel like those guys would actually do despawn once you beat them once. But I want to take this opportunity to show one of the cool things with the Pegasus boots. If these guys would just move. So I want to clear out these guys because they can be quite annoying to deal with when you're trying to do puzzles here. So what you can do with the Pegasus boots is dash and then use Rock's Feather in tandem with the boots in order to jump over large gaps. You got the Nightmare's key. Now you can open the door to the Nightmare's lair. Very, very good. So with that, we are almost set to head off to the boss of this dungeon. There's a few more chests we need to go see before we can truly call this over. Alright, so what I want to do here is head back over here to where we fought the Dodongo snakes. Because I want to take the portal back to the very start of the dungeon. Because now that we have the boots, we can dash across here and destroy the black hole, allowing us to get a key from this chest. Very good. So yeah, as we're just going for the various things we can get back in the earlier areas of this dungeon, I feel like we could talk about some other stuff that's been going on. Now, even though I have the boots, these things are still going to be a little bit of a pain to deal with. It's okay. Just gonna ignore you. And you guys drop some heart from me. I'm really hurting for some health right now. At the very least, we got a piece of power. In that chest, we get 200 rupees. Oh, I'm definitely ecstatic about that, because that's going to make getting the eventual bow and arrows so much better. Okay, with that, we now have 4 keys. So that is everything we need to complete the dungeon. Let's go. Alright, seriously, one of you guys drop some hearts for me. Maybe we can get some at a later point. Alright, there's probably some hearts in the jars here. There was one. No, I haven't really been good about talking right now. Just kind of want to focus here, because still not in the best position when it comes to health, and I like to concentrate. Now we got everything we need. Once you have all 4 of the keys for this section, just need to break open the blocks. If we head down here, we got this big ol' thwomp guy. Equip the boots and ram into him. Oh man, I really like that. Oh, and we got a new face here. Piranha Plant, a classic enemy from the Super Mario Bros. Series. So yeah, it's definitely cool that we get to see a lot more Mario enemies while we're down here. Alright, so we got another room with these bird guys. Luckily, now that we have the boots, we can just quickly charge into them before they can teleport. Very nice. Let's grab these hearts up here because we're definitely going to need some health before this next fight, even though it shouldn't be too bad. And around here, I believe, if you kill every enemy in this room, it spawns an extra key for you, just in case you need it in order to access another room. But at this point, we really don't need it. equip our boots before going into this next room. Neener, neener, you can't find me, nya, nya. Charge into the wall and spawn the boss, Slime Eyes. This is a kind of interesting boss, but also kind of weird. So you want to attack this guy enough times to make his section split off like that. Then charge at him with the sword and the boots in hand. And yeah, you're able to split him into the two halves, which you can then attack with the sword. The section really isn't too bad. Especially because I was able to get a piece of power before going into this section. But yeah, Slime Eyes is beaten. Really not that bad of a fight. And with that, we got the third instrument. You got the Sea Lily's Bell. That instrument sure has a nice ring to it. Waterfall. It is hidden in the waterfall. So now we have our next clue about where we have to go. Hoot! How many instruments have you gotten so far? When you play the instruments in front of the egg, the windfish will wake, and you will leave this island. Now, you must hasten to the Yarna Desert. The dark, monstrous inhabitants of the sand will show you the way. Woo-hoot! But do they know the way is the real question here. Sorry, I have to make a reference to that whole thing. Which could kind of bring me to another subject to discuss. Like, very recently, a teaser was put for one of the new cartoons coming to Netflix, which is Sonic Prime, and ooh boy, it was very interesting. I'm definitely going to be excited to check out this show once it's complete and ready to be viewed, so that'll be fun to get into. What I wanted to, now that we have beaten the Key Cavern, is there was this hut here that we had not been to previously. We could have been here as soon as we got the power bracelet, but I wanted to save it until this moment. This area is the Dream Shrine. Let's hop inside. That's a trippy dream. An interesting enemy here. This one behaves kind of similar to Garaya's in that its movements are based on your movements. You can easily dispatch of these guys by just charging at them with the Pegasus boots. That's one of the main reasons I suggest going through this area once you get the Pegasus boots, because otherwise you're not going to be able to deal with these guys. They can be kind of a pain. Feel the energy flowing through you. Definitely appreciate that. Let's head up here and grab this. You got 100 rupees. You're happy. Yes, I am, because we're getting closer and closer to getting the bow. I can't wait for us to get it. Now if we come up here to this chest, you got the ocarina. You should learn to play many songs. I definitely really enjoy having this. The ocarina is the traditional instrument of quite a few Zelda games. I really love this detail. Well, it's an ocarina, but you don't know how to play it. Yeah, Link actually starts off kind of tone deaf and unable to actually play this thing. It's especially funny if you try to play the ocarina when you first get it in the Switch version, because then it's just really funny just hearing him just play it so badly. But yeah, the ocarina, this is technically the first time we have the ocarina named in a Zelda game. Because technically it appears in A Link to the Past, but in that game it's called a flute, so it's kinda different, but not really. But whatever. Now that we have this thing, how about we talk with our dear friend, Marin? Hey, that's a nice ocarina you have there. Will you accompany me as I sing? So, how do you like it? It's really touching, isn't it? Does it stick in your mind? It sure does. You've learned the Ballad of the Windfish. This song will always remain in your heart. Please remember this song. You should play it every once in a while to keep it fresh in your mind. Yep, because now that we have that song learned, we're able to play it on our ocarina. And whenever you go into the ocarina from the menu now, you're able to select from a few different songs that you're able to learn in the game. For now, all we have is the Ballad of the Windfish. And actually I want to see if we can move the ocarina down to the bottom of the inventory just so it's not cluttering things with the rest of our items. Because otherwise that thing is gonna take up a bit of time to actually get to use properly, and I'd rather not have it messing me up as I try to do other things. But yep, now we have the ocarina, and we have learned the Ballad of the Windfish. So that said, our next destination, as was told to us by the owl, is the Yarna Desert, which we will definitely want to go to very soon. Before we go, there is one thing I wanted to do that we can now access now that we have the so now that we have the Pegasus boots, I want to see if we can get something in one of the caves around here. Yep, here it is. Let's go ahead and equip our boots here. Just let that bubble do his thing. Yep, we were able to break free of those crystals and move over here to grab... You got 50 rupees! Very nice. Alright, so how about now that we are at this point, we could talk about a few things that I've wanted to discuss for quite a while now. So there's been a few things that have been on my mind lately that I would like to talk about. We're just making our way to our next destination here. So something I was really excited to do recently was being able to take part in a friend lock that is going on between me and some other people on the Comic Burrow Discord server. And the last few sessions we have done have been very good. We are already past the clay fight in Pokemon White 2, and it was definitely an interesting battle for a few reasons, and we were able to make it through that fight, but not without some casualties, which definitely made things interesting. Actually, I think I want to go over here in order to access this thing. Yeah, it was a very fun session, and I haven't really gone to shine it too much in the run, but I am very excited for what I'm going to be able to do very soon with my character. Hi, Taryn. Oh, Hayden! I see you have a nice stick! What are you implying? Can I borrow it for a second? Oh, you wanted the stick from the monkey, sure. Taryn, that doesn't look like a good idea! Stings, doesn't it? The stick became the honeycomb. You're not sure how it happened, but take it. So now we got a big ol' honeycomb sitting in our inventory, which is very good. I do like me some honey. Great Fairy, I'd really appreciate you healing us right now. Yes, I would very much appreciate it. See, I'm very happy with how things have been progressing for us in our run, and I'm excited to get to do a bit more as we are heading a bit farther in. So I'm actually playing a drill burr in our friend log, and by the time of the next session, I should be more than ready to evolve, which will be very good for us. As we will hopefully be able to support our team even better than before, and we'll just have a very good time of it. Right, we don't have any more seashells. We don't have anything that could really help here. So we need to find where this Yarna Desert place is. You can see that sign telling us about an animal village. So how about we go over here and see what that's about? Got these crystals here that were the same ones that we can break with the Pegasus boots. This is telling you that it's an area that you cannot access until after you clear the key cavern. So now that we're here, we can access this part of the map. Still got these slimy guys here, which I definitely want to try to avoid. And the various things we can do around here. Just want to look around a bit and check if there's anything we can do. There's some water there we gotta avoid. And what is this? That was one of those guys. And one of those guys. Annoying. Oh, I'm really not a fan of these balmy mushroom guys. Just leave me alone. They do so much damage to you. So I want to remember this bridge for later. Wow, good work, buddy. Want to remember that bridge for later, because it'll be important. Secrets are like water when it comes to bridges. Yes, it is. I just want to be careful around here, because since you're so close to the water, you will encounter a lot of Zoras here, which are pretty annoying. Alright, if we can dig there, you get a secret seashell, which I definitely appreciate. We need a few more of those to get our next big thing, which I'm very excited for. There's nothing we can do over there, so I guess we should be about done with this area. Ow! Leave me alone! These frickin' enemies! I'm on 1 heart. I really don't want to take any more damage. Is there any hearts around here we can get? Nothing, really? Okay, I guess we're heading in here now. On such a nice day, we need a song from Marin. Welcome to the Animal Village. This place has been hyped up for quite a while. One of the few other settlements here on the island of Koholint. But I definitely like the atmosphere around here, because everything here is an animal. There's some pots over there I definitely want to lift. Let's see if there's any goodies in here. I don't really see anything. Come on, there's nothing here. I need hearts. Hello, buddy. Yarna Desert? There's a way to get there to the south, but you might not be able to get through if that lazy walrus is in the way. Oh, a walrus, eh? Let's see in this house. Oh! Okay, this house. Yeah, I am sure Donovich. The mermaid statue by the bay is my masterpiece. To tell you the truth, this work is not complete. The art, it's difficult for you to grasp, is it not? So got this hippo lady here. Go away! If you try to talk to her, she just says, go away. So this hippo's being painted by this crocodile guy. So an interesting thing about this NPC in the original Japanese version of this game, this hippo lady has large exposed breasts, and that's why she's telling you to go away, because she's ashamed of being painted in the nude. Licensed by Nintendo. Goddamn.
Hey, did you know Animal Village and Mabe Village are sister cities? Yes, even though they aren't large enough to be called cities. Anyway, I heard from a very good source that they have a dream shrine in Mabe, and that is something good inside. Is that true?
That's one of your clues to go into the dream shrine to get the ocarina, as it will be important for something going forward. So we go in here, we have a goat girl.
You don't know the proper etiquette when dealing with a lady, do you? You should have brought flowers or something. Then I might be more inclined to talk with you. Oh yes, in my case, hibiscus are best.
I definitely do like the look of hibiscus flowers. It's in this house. There's just a pond and a bed. It's not really a whole lot going on here. Maybe want to check in on it a bit later. We head down here into this house. Hello.
I can't go to Mabe Village because of all the monsters. I hope Marin's alright.
Don't worry, she was fine last time I saw her. If you go over here, there's this big bear. Hi-ho! Hey you, is that possibly a honeycomb you have? I just ran out. Will you swap it for a pineapple? Sure. You exchange honeycomb for pineapple. It's not as sweet, but it is delicious. I do like pineapple myself. Hi-ho. Yeah, I know. That tub of goo's asleep right in the way to Yarna Desert. Once he's asleep, he won't budge for a long time. But hey, take little Marin and wake him up with her song. That slob would wake up with a jump if he heard her sing for sure. I do like the look of this bear NPC. It's very cute looking. So we got all those people talking about a walrus blocking the way to Yarna. So how about we just check things out for ourselves here. So we go over this way. Entrance to Yarna Desert. There's indeed a big walrus on our way. Marin. Yep, there's nothing we can do about this tub of fat. If we go over here, this is another path that can take us just around Mabe Village, which lets us access this over here. Definitely want to remember this place, especially for later. So go over this way. That is something that we're not going to be able to do at the moment. Yeah, we're going to need a few things to be able to take care of that. So, we're just going to leave here. But you'll definitely want to keep that in mind. Alright, so we got this big walrus blocking the way. And we need to go find Marin in order to take care of it. We can see there was one of those portals that we were able to access before, so how about we take this a shortcut back to Mabe. There we go. Now let's head on down. We are so close to getting the bow and arrows. Hello.
Marin, she likes to go stare at the ocean all by herself. Why? Hey, I'm just a kid. Don't ask me.
Sure. Alright, so apparently Marin is down by the sea. Let's look at this. At the beach. Marin. Okay, we'll go to the beach and talk with her then. Hey, Bow Wow, how's it going, boy? So while we're going on the way here, how about we check out the library right quick? You can see that there's a book on the bookshelf that we're not able to reach. But if we use the Pegasus use the Pegasus boots, we can knock the book down. And now we can finally read it. You want to read this book? Sure. New World of Color under the 5 gravestones. And it shows us a little code here. So 1 down, 2 left, 3 up, 4 right, and 5 up. Try with all your might, open a new path. Whoever's worthy receives the power of color. I wonder what the world of color is. So that is something exclusive to Link's Awakening DX. And we are going to be tackling that at some point very soon. But for now, I want to take care of things with Marin, as that's a little more pressing to the story of the game than this particular area. Let's head over this way. And I would talk about some other things at the moment, but just because we're actually pretty close to where Marin is, so we don't have to worry too much about it. So go over here. You can find Marin just sitting alone by the beach.
Oh, Hayden, I'm glad you found this place. Will you stay and talk to me for a while?
Sure.
I wonder where these coconut trees come from. Taryn says there's nothing beyond the sea, but I believe there must be something over there. When I discovered you, Hayden, my heart skipped a beat. I thought, this person's come to give us a message. If I was a seagull, I would fly as far as I could. I would fly to faraway places and sing for many people. If I wish to the windfish, I wonder if my dream will come true. Hey, are you listening? Hayden, are you listening to me?
Yeah.
I want to know everything about you. Huh? The walrus wants me to go to him? It doesn't matter. I will go with you to him.
You got Marin! Is this your big chance? I really love that you hold Marin over your head like you would an item. Just such a funny little detail. But yeah, we now have Marin accompanying us as a new party member, so to speak. I really do like this. It's kind of like an escort mission, except you don't really have to worry about her taking damage or anything. Just a nice chill time with a girl who means a lot to Link, apparently. I would have really liked if a bit more of their relationship was developed, but it is nice the few little scenes we do get with them. Now, at this point, now that we have Marin, there are a few areas we can go to on the map in order to trigger certain interactions. Let's start off here.
This is my first walk with you, Hayden. This cliff will be our secret place. Aren't you gonna say anything? Oh, how I love pictures! Why don't you take a picture when no one is around? You can call it... I'll go develop this. Come see it later, okay?
And what's nice that even in the Switch version, which doesn't have the photo mouse, you're still able to view these scenes with Marin, and I just like it. It's very nice to kind of develop the story with these two characters, even though it really could have used some more time to develop them. Because otherwise you don't really have too many interactions with these two. So back here we could technically read another book in this update. In this session. So, how about we do that? Secrets of the Whirling Blade. The whirling blade technique has been handed down from generation to generation by the family of the hero. To use it, hold down the sword button and build up your power. When you have enough, you can release the button. Can you master this? So that tells you about the whirling blade, or as I prefer to call it, the spin attack, because that just sounds much easier to say. Now the next little secret we can visit is here at the well. Want to drop down with Marin? Ow!
Hi, I'm the photographer. What a great photo moment. I'll call this Heads Up. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay, Hayden?
That really hurt. We'll probably want to stop by the photo mouse and see what that photo actually looks like since we didn't get a good peek at it. But now I want to come here to the village and go in front of the rooster statue. Hey, Marin and Hayden! Are you taking pictures? You should take pictures of everyone, including me! I use this to take pictures. Are you ready? Say mushroom! Okay, I'm done. I'll go home now. So we got kinda Terran just being a third wheel and messing with our private time here. Just very interesting. So we can see here that Terran is kind of sleeping here. Ugh, ow, sure lost my taste for honey. Yeah, you'll see Terran there once you have given him the stick in order to get the honeycomb. It's a funny little scene. Yeah, now that's all taken care of. How about we go pay the mouse a visit before we actually go to the Yarna Desert? As we've taken quite a few pictures, and I would like to actually get a good look at them. Just need to head up here. Oh, this is Crazy Tracy's place. Don't need to go see you. And we just want to go over here to the camera shop. Let's go check some of our photos. Which picture would you like to see? Alright, photo 2. That's us at the cake. Just a very nice little scene. It's a photo 3. That's us falling down the well. Just a very humorous visual. This game does have a nice sense of humor. And here is Terran's third wheel moment. You can see that Link and Marin just really don't appreciate Terran just coming in and ruining the moment for them. It's very funny. So yep, that is all the photos that we can take with Marin in our party. So how about we head off to the deserts? So we could take Marin to see quite a few other things, but for the time being, I feel like it is good if we just get to our main goal. Oh, by the way, now that we're in this area, this is the screen where it was telling us to go to access the power of color. I'm gonna say that for a little bit longer because this particular area can make certain things in the game a bit easier depending on how you go about them. And instead of going through there as soon as I am able to, I'm going to save it for a little bit just so that we can experience the difficulty of this game at the pace it is supposed to be at. So while doing this, how about some more stuff to talk about? Just want to think here. I know there was some stuff I want to talk about. I guess one thing I was doing relating to some art, I did some sketches earlier with some characters that really meant a lot to me as they were characters from one of my older comics, and getting to draw them again after so long was just felt really good to me. Especially because I have just a lot of pleasant memories doing all these various characters, and just another very fun drawing. definitely got a good reception with some of the people I hang out with on at the Comic Bro server, so it's all very nice. Hello there.
Ah, it's her, little Marin.
Yeah, the various residents of Mabe Village really love Marin. Go figure. I guess she is a pretty sweet person. Not really the most developed character we've seen in the Zelda series, but that mostly goes with how this game overall is kind of short.
Great, dig it to the center of the earth.
Oh yeah, I guess if you dig with Marin, she comments on your digging. She actually can say quite a few different things depending on your various interactions. So I haven't shown it, but if you attack the cuckoos in the village, she gets kind of psychotic and into it, which is really weird. But anyway, we are back over at the Walrus.
Yes, it's that lazy walrus. Shall we give him a little surprise?
Sure thing.
Wow, he certainly woke with a start. Huh? Oh, he's calling me. It's the same as always. Hayden, I'm going to the animal village. Please drop by, okay?
Sure thing, Marin. But yep, our friend the Walrus is currently back in the water, opening the path for us forward. I gotta check here just to be sure. Because I know in the Switch version of this game, if you play the Ballad of the Windfish in this area where the Walrus is, then he will toss you an item. But I guess at this point... No, this game doesn't have it, it seems. But yeah, it's just a nice little secret that you're able to access there. But I guess that's enough talking about that, because we gotta head into the desert. Yarna Desert here is kind of an interesting area. It's not very big, but there are a few secrets we can get in this area that you'll definitely want to do before we are done here. Namely, we got these guys. Those are Pokies, an enemy from the Super Mario Bros. Series. It's kind of neat to see these guys here. Of course, we got plenty of levers as well. So don't think there's anything over here we need to worry about. Feel like there might have been something, but no, doesn't look like it. So I know somewhere around here we might need to dig, but for the most part we don't have to. So we got plenty of enemies here to worry about. So you see another one of these owl statues we can talk to. Let's take those guys out. Sea Bear's foam, Sleep Bear dreams, both end the same way. Crash! It's an interesting little message there. Doesn't really tell us anything important, sadly. If we go over here to the end of this area, with these stones getting us another secret seashell. And I guess we could show on the map here, we're actually on the most southeastern corner of the map. So yeah, we have seen a good chunk of the island so far. Still quite a lot for us to see, but for the most part, we are almost fully done exploring the island. But with that said, let us head over this way in order to get what is over here. So over here in this big sand pit... Annoyance! You're only getting in the way! We got ourselves a mid-boss, Mon Moloss. This is a recurring enemy throughout the Zelda series, that first appeared in the original game and got revamped as a boss in A Link to the Past. He returns here as a mid-boss for us to face. Good strategy for dealing with this guy is to use jump attacks. Don't want to get pulled into the center of this room because you will get sucked into another section of the map, and that's not very good. Alright, come here, bud. I do like this guy's design with him being a big ol' centipede. Definitely a pretty creepy monster. Alright, we should be pretty close to taking care of this guy. On. So yeah, you have to hit the head in order to damage him. Doing pretty good here. There we go. That's the finishing blow. And by beating him... Ah! He drops a key down here for us. You got the angler key. So yep, as you can tell, that is a key we're gonna need to access the next dungeon. So a lot of those guys just popping out of the ground. Guess they're implied to be like the Lon Molasses children. Anyway, you bomb that wall there, and you get a piece of hearts. Press select on the sub-screen to see. I guess I can bring this up here. So, as you can see down there at the bottom screen, we have a full row of hearts adding up to 7. Yeah, unlike some other Zelda games, the amount of hearts again in this game are pretty low. And with it, so is the amount of pieces of heart you're able to obtain. So we only have about 12 pieces of heart we really need to go after. And at this point, we only have 7, I believe, to go through. So it's not going to be too much farther until we have all the pieces of heart. But for now, let's go over here. Hoot! The shape of the key shows a fish swimming up a cascade of water. Go now to the mountain waterfall. A leap from the top, and you will reach your goal. Some good advice there, Mr. Owl. So before we go do that, how about we check in with our friend Marin, now that she is just hanging out at the village. So yep, she's just singing for the animals here. It seems to be totally absorbed in Marin's song.
Oh, Hayden! I often come to this village to sing, too. It seems that just about everyone loves my Ballad of the Windfish. Hayden, what's your favorite song?
Based on some of the things I have been listening to these days, I always like Live and Learn from Sonic Adventure 2. I guess also a big fan of... guess these days I listen to a lot of Man on the Internet or Juno song videos. And... in terms of some other things... I guess I can just stop it with this bit. It's really not all that entertaining. Okay. Alright, so now that we've taken care of that, we have everything we need now in order to enter the next dungeon. We're gonna say that for the next session, as I feel like we have already done a good amount of stuff in this session. So I want to head over here right now because it's a section of the map that we are able to access after obtaining everything from the... it's an area we can go to after clearing the key cavern, and just like to explore a bit more of the map and show off what we can do. This area is certainly interesting, because this area is definitely going to be more familiar to you a bit later on in the game, but I'd like to show off what we can here. Also see if we can find any more secret seashells. We still need those. So we can see there's a wall there that can be bombed. So let's go over here and blast this thing open. So you can also tell that this is an area that's easier to traverse once we get the ability to swim, which will be for a little while. So there's a fairy fountain here. I want to remember that for later. And let's go this way. Is there anything that was hiding under there? No. It's another one of those owl statues. And yeah, you can see that there is a lot of places that can only be accessed once we're able to swim. I want to save that for later, obviously. Alright, could you just leave us alone, bud? Wow, you dropped us a fairy. I very much appreciate that. Hello there. The windfish slumbers long, the hero's life gone. Well, that's certainly a very... That is certainly a thing to say. If you go down here, there's this whole section down here full of these statues. But they're not actually statues, they are enemies. These are Armos. Pretty much, they are living statues. It'd be a bit tricky to deal with. So I definitely know that there are some ways to deal with these guys, but for the most part, you just kind of... I think the only thing you can really do is just hit them in order to activate them and then move away. So otherwise, they can be a bit of a pain to deal with. I probably shouldn't even be in this area because we don't really need to go here until much later on. Just want to kind of show off as much of this area as I can, though, just to fill up a bit of the map since we are able to go in this area. It'll be nice to show this off for later, because we will be going here at some point during our adventure. For the time being, it's just an area we can visit. Ow. Yeah, those armor snipes do a lot of damage to you, so you gotta be careful here. Seeing the amount of damage these guys do actually making me think I would like to grab what's in the color dungeon right now, but say that for a bit later. Let's move that guy out of the way. See here, there's this big shrine here. So this area is the Face Shrine. It's definitely an area that we will want to remember for later. I mean, we can go in here right now. Look at that. There were arrows in those pots. We couldn't get those until much... we can't get those until we actually have the bow and arrows. So it's interesting that those are already set to give you arrows, even though you obviously don't have the item to deal with them. But yeah, we don't need to be in this area by this point in the game, so let's head back out of here. Just want to show this off because we have the ability to go to this area at this point. But in terms of the story, we don't have to be here. Alright, buddy, could you just move aside so I can get through? Alright, let's go over here now. I want to try to uncover as much of the map as we can before we're done. Alright, so that exposes everything around here. So I think, yeah, by pushing that guy, that actually exposes some steps. If we go in here, you found a secret seashell. So it's actually nice that we came here early, because that will allow us to grab something. I think we need at least one more seashell in order to be able to do something. It's gonna be a little while, but it's nice that we have this for later. Let's get over here, and yeah, there's not much else I think we're going to be able to do in the remainder of this session. So what I'm going to do now is go up to where we need to insert the angler key, and then we should be good and ready for what we're going to be able to do in the next session. So yep, that seems like a good way to end things off today. I guess in terms of some other things we could discuss, I don't know. I guess very recently I've been really excited checking out some updates on the next Xenoblade game that it will be out sometime this year. Oh boy, it's going to be really something. And will definitely take up a good chunk of my time in the summer. But yeah, I've been checking a few updates that have been posted about the game on Twitter that have been going into quite a few things. That's got me really interested. Mostly the discussions have been about the combat in the game, which I feel is definitely one of the big make-or-break points of discussion when it comes to RPGs, especially with something of this caliber. And especially with it being just such a long-running series as this. I mean, I say long-running, but compared to something like Final Fantasy, it definitely hasn't been around for a whole lot. Yeah, I want to take the portal here so that we're in this area. And there was this keyhole we saw much earlier on in our adventure. So we insert the angler key into here. And it gets rid of the waterfall, exposing the way forward. So our next goal is going to be to head into the next dungeon, which definitely got me excited. So I guess there's one last thing I can do before we end things off here, seeing that I'm so close to Mount Tamaranch. So I want to go pay a visit to the Windfish's egg, because at this point, there's something we're able to do here that we couldn't do previously. Don't want to go up there yet. Want to head here. So now that we're up on Mount Tamaranch, if you bring out the ocarina when it has Ballad of the Windfish, using the instruments of the Siren, we can play the Ballad of the Windfish in front of the egg. However, the song is currently incomplete. Only when we have all 8 instruments will we finally be able to play the full song in front of the egg. So with that said, I think we are going to be calling things here. So we are just over an hour by this point. Feels like a good stopping off point for this session. So next time on Link's Awakening, we are going to be tackling not 1, but 2 dungeons, and see what they have in store for us. Until next time, have a good day, and take care.